Yo, what up, everybody? My name is Drake Demore from the Win City Sports Podcast, and this episode of Cedric Ben's Combat Quarter is brought to you by the Win City Sports Podcast. Check us out on Spotify, iTunes, and anywhere podcasts are found, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or directly on wincitysports.com. Smell you later.
Yo, what up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Cedric's Combat Corner number 26. I am your host, Cedric Ben. Today on the Triple C's podcast, I will be going over the big rematch from this Saturday. Tony Superbad Harrison versus Jermell Iron Man Charlo. They had, this was about 1 year. This rematch was about 1 year from their original fight last December, in which Tony Harrison won unanimous. It was the same thing. It was the first one was a very close fight. Back and forth. Tony Harrison got the unanimous decision. I thought he won watching the fight, but there was a lot of people that thought the other way around, and so this rematch was well anticipated. So I'll be talking about that. I will also be going over the boxing training focus of the week. This week's focus is inside blocking. I made a quick video for that, just a quick drill, one of the drills that we work on to improve your inside blocking, reflexes, and reaction time. All right, so let's get into it. Tony Superbad Harrison currently has a record of 28 wins with 3 losses with 21 knockouts. Jermell Ironman Charlo currently has a record of 33 wins and 1 loss with 17 KOs. Now, fight was good, back and forth. I actually had, at the time of the stoppage in the 11th round, I had Tony up 98-91 on the scorecards. I know it sounds wide, but let me just explain. The only round that I really gave to Jermell was that second round where he knocked him down. Every other round was close. But I just believe that Tony did a little bit more to earn it. Definitely had a perfect jab. Definitely was able to keep Jermell away from him with that stiff jab, and even on the inside. Now, going back to the scoring, I said I had it 98-91 going into that 11th round. I found out afterwards that 2 of the judges actually had Charlo up. 2 of the judges had Charlo up. I don't know. I really don't see that. I spoke to a few people after the fight that also thought that Charlo was winning at the time, but I don't know, man. I don't know what you guys were watching. I really didn't think that. I believe that Tony, it was basically skills versus power. Tony with the skills, Jermell with the power. I thought Tony was dictating the pace and controlling the fight, really. So it's actually funny to hear Charlo say that after the fight and is on the microphone, when I thought it was the other way around. I thought Tony, in the first fight, Tony boxed more and he moved a lot more. And this one, he still boxed, he still had a great jab and was placing his punches very good, but he actually chose to walk Charlo down. Actually, this fight reminds me exactly of the 2 fights between Canelo and Triple G. In the first fight, with Canelo backing up, choosing to box and move. And then the second one, he chose to still box, but was coming forward more and had Triple G backing up, something that we've never seen Triple G do before. And that's actually exactly how I saw this fight going down. I've been watching Charlo for most of his career, not every single fight, but most of his career. And this was the first time, especially in recent fights, that I've seen someone actually back him up and be effective with it. Not just back him up, but Tony was actually effective with backing up Charlo with the punches that he was throwing. Jabs and then sitting down and throwing them nice left hooks to the body. No one's really done that to Charlo before. It's not the fact that it's not just simply that Charlo was backing up. You don't think someone's winning just because you have the person backing up, but he was effective with Tony was effective with making Charlo back up. Especially because, as I said before, I haven't seen Charlo fight like that on the back foot and box, backing up like that. So you have to ask yourself, what's the reason why? What is the reason why that you're fighting in a style that we haven't seen you fight before, especially in a fight where you have to come forward, where you're the challenger and you have to take it from the champion. On the back foot, backing up is not really the way to do that unless you're a superior boxer. And in this case, I think between Tony and Jermell, as I said from the beginning, it was skills versus power. I think Tony had the better skills and Jermell definitely had the power. So if you're going to be backing up, you have to make sure that your skill level is superior than your opponent so you can expose them, because it's hard to box someone if your skill level is not as high as theirs if you're backing up, right? So yeah, that's why I believe Tony was winning most of the rounds. And the other reason why I gave those early rounds to Tony is because I didn't think that Charlo was making any adjustments to what Tony was making him do. First of all, nobody was expecting Tony to walk Jermell down like that, to walk him down and back him up. Nobody was expecting that. So with that being said, Mayweather is probably the best at adjusting during a fight. Everyone comes in with a game plan, and everyone claims they can adjust, but I think Mayweather was probably the best at that. I did not see Jermell Charlo make any specific changes to his game, and his coach Derek James is a very good coach, but I didn't see any adjustments in his game to what Tony was making him do or not do. Now, one common thing that I've been hearing in a few of the podcast boxing shows that I've been listening to about this big rematch, about Tony Harrison being gassed and how he often loses or his cardio goes away later on in the fights, and that's how he lost his 3 matches. But I disagree with that. I don't think it's a issue of him getting gassed, because in all of his fights, in all of his 3 losses, he was winning all 3 of those matches and just got caught with a big bomb that he couldn't recover from. Now, that might sound a little contradicting coming from me, because one thing I always preach to my boxers when we're training is that the more cardio you have, so the better conditioned your body is in, the faster you can recover if you do get hit with a hard punch. And obviously, everybody has different limits, different thresholds to how much you can take and how fast you can recover. But normally, the better in shape you are, the faster you can recover if you do get hit with a big punch. So that's why it sounds a little contradicting me saying that Tony did not get gassed. He just got hit with a hard punch and can recover. Now, with that being said, sometimes you'll face an opponent that just has that extra gear of strength. The best example I can use is Deontay Wilder. Everyone knows he does not exactly have the best technique in the world, not the best offense, not the best defense. But one thing is for sure, if he comes across your chin with that straight cross, there's a 99 times out of 10 you're going to sleep. Now, I'm definitely not comparing Charlo to Wilder's power. I'm pretty sure Charlo only has 17 KOs out of his 33 fights. So he's not exactly known as a power puncher, but when he throws, he's throwing, with power. It's not exactly, don't get me wrong, he is a good boxer. It's not like he's just a brawler looking to fight. He is a good boxer, but his main skill is that power, as opposed to Tony Harrison's main skill, which is the skills like boxing, nice jabs, good footwork. And so Charlo, that was just the difference, man. Skills versus power. Harrison has the skills. Charlo also has the skills, but a little bit more power. And he caught Harrison with what I like to call the Tyson special. Yeah, the Mike Tyson special. Simply going to the body and then coming right back to the head with the same hand, with power and speed, not just loading up, but power and speed. Obviously, Mike Tyson was not the first person to do that, but I just nicknamed it the Tyson special because during my time growing up and competing, he was one of the best at doing it. So yeah, Charlo caught him with a hook to the body. The Harrison blocked the hook. Charlo threw right away threw another hook to the chin, and that's when he caught him. Harrison was doing his best to recover, but referee Jack Reese came in and stopped it for the fighter's safety. I'm all about safety first. Harrison probably could have continued, but that's a big chance that you're taking. You know, I always say safety first, man. Safety first. So yeah, congrats to the two-time champ Jermell Charlo. We'll see he goes from here. All right, now for both fighters, what I think they can work on to improve. My boy Tony Harrison, really, I would just tell him just to stay focused, man. Those times during the fight, especially during the times when he was doing really good, schooling Charlo, but he would kind of lose his focus and you know, showboat to the crowd, look at the crowd, do a little dance move just to show them that he wasn't hurt or, you know, that Charlo was not affecting him, which is okay, but you know, I would just, you know, if I was, and his coach is good. His dad is a very good coach, taught him from the beginning up until raised him to a world champion. So his dad is a very good coach. He knows what he's talking about. Just something that I would have added, you know, just a little bit more anger. Like, as far as telling him, don't, like, I would have just yelled at him and be like, yo, no, there's no fooling around. The first fight was close. You won it unanimous, whatever. You know how people are talking. Some people said you got lucky. Some people didn't think that you won. There's a lot of people still doubting you in the rematch. So there should be no fooling around, man. No fooling around. You just got to stay focused the whole time. And he admitted this after too. He knew that he kind of he knew that he relaxed a little bit too much and got caught slipping. He admitted it himself. So hopefully he takes this L and turns it into a learning experience. And hopefully he'll get another shot. He'll have to work his way back up, though. Probably be another at least year before he gets another title shot. As long as he gets back on that winning streak, which I'm sure he will. And yeah, as far as the Charlo, this guy has a few options open. You know, they were already this fight. Remember the rematch. This rematch happened immediately because the first fight was an upset. They weren't expecting Tony to win that first one. Charlo already had plans to fight Jarrett Hurd, and that got messed up with the upset. Jarrett Hurd lost himself, so that you know, that's a whole different ball game too. So that 154-pound division is stacked, and there's lots of good fights to be made, and I can't wait for 2020. Julian J. Rock Williams is another dog ready to bark on somebody at 154. Erickson Lubin. I think at this point Canelo might be a little bit. I don't think Canelo's going to come all the way back down to 154. He'll probably stay at 160 and fight the older Charlo brother. And then, of course, you got Triple G, but he's also at 160, so the older Charlo will probably try to take care of him. And there you have it. All right. BTF, the boxing training focus of the week. Specifically improving your inside blocking. I made a quick video about this, specifically a quick drill that I do with the boxers, a reflex and reaction time drill that I do with the boxers to help blocking on the inside. Of course, every drill I see, everyone gets better at the offensive part because that's the fun part. No, it's learning defense is hard. So this is one drill that you can kind of make fun for yourself. Whether you're a coach doing it with your fighter or just two boxers, you can do it with each other. Again, specifically to help with your reflexes and reaction time with blocking on the inside. You want to make sure you start slowly, and then you could pick up the pace. Yeah, inside blocking. All right, man, there you have it. Cedric Sports Podcast. Thank you very much for listening to number 26. Please hit me up on any social media. Any suggestions or anything you want me to add to the show at Cedric Sports. Yeah. All right. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Actually, no, I'll probably do another show before the New Year. So happy Christmas. Enjoy your week. Shout out to Win City Sports. Yeah.